As a leader, picking up those subtle and maybe not so subtle cues and being able to adapt your approach accordingly and rapidly, depending on what it is that you're picking up on, is really important and is actually a very useful skill to really enhance your communication and improve your progress as a leader. There are 7 helpful signs that you can look out for when communicating with your team, or anyone really. The first one is how to spot shame. Often this is shown through a slight touch to the side of the forehead, or perhaps even covering the forehead if someone is embarrassed, which is really them trying to cover their face, to cover up the fact that they are embarrassed or feel ashamed. This is important if you are having a conversation with a team member and perhaps you're considering your approach to try and address behaviour. If you spot signs of shame or embarrassment, this can indicate that they're aware of their actions and feel ashamed of them or embarrassed to admit them. But if you follow Brené Brown, you will know that shame is quite different to guilt. Guilt can actually be quite adaptive and helpful in correcting behaviour. If someone is showing signs of guilt, they're obviously remorseful about what they've done and are usually ready to improve. So guilt can be helpful at times, but shame can be quite unproductive and harmful as it can cause disconnection for the individual. So if you spot signs of shame from your team, tread very lightly so that you aren't enhancing their shame or their embarrassment, as shame is not a tool for change. The second cue to watch for is blocking behaviour. This is to put a barrier between yourself and somebody else, and it can be done through crossing your arms, perhaps placing a book in front of you, or even your computer screen. If you are talking to somebody and they suddenly block you, think about whether you said something that perhaps made them uncomfortable or nervous. Watch for people who regularly do blocking behaviour in front of you, as it could be a sign that they're not that open to you. It could be your approach, the words you're saying, or prior interactions that are causing this behaviour. So it is good to be aware of and to consider how you could adapt to increase their openness to you. Another type of blocking behaviour is when somebody covers their mouth. The human instinct, if we don't like something that we're about to say, or we're trying not to say something, is to cover our mouth. If you are talking to somebody and they suddenly cover their mouth, it can mean they want to keep something from you. And if you also see the shame gesture with their hand to their forehead, then a mouth cover and blocking behaviour, they are probably extremely nervous and maybe trying very hard to keep something from you. The third cue is the head tilt. This is a positive response and is usually done when somebody wants to hear more of what it is you're saying. So if you are talking and somebody tilts their head, this is a good sign that they're probably interested in what you're saying. And if they add in a head nod or two, then this is a sign that they want to hear more and they're trying to encourage you non-verbally to keep talking. If you yourself want to encourage somebody to keep talking and hear more from them, then try and incorporate the head tilt and the slight nod. Cue number 4 is the slight eyebrow raise when someone is curious, interested, or engaged. If you say something and somebody raises their eyebrows and appears to widen their eyes a little bit more, it usually means that they're interested in what you're saying and they're actually trying to see more, thus the opening of the eyes. Number 5 is the ability to read facial expressions. There are 7 universal micro-expressions. They are universally similar, so taking the time to know what these are and to be able to read them could be really crucial for your communication and leadership. The 7 universal micro-expressions are happiness, disgust, fear, sadness, surprise, contempt, and anger. To really lead your people and to be able to be a really adaptive leader, knowing all these facial cues is a really important tool, and it can also enhance your other relationships too. Now, if you found this video useful, please let me know in the comments, and thanks very much for watching.